streaming. And yep, that looks like it's all working. Just need to wait for the video. And we should be good to go. There we go. Just get chat up. Open that, close that. And there we go. Right, so here for the finale of Hildibrand Adventures. Just wait. That we're all set. So, last time we cleared up Act 4, which was the whole tournament arc. Which got us, we again failed to stop the thief getting hold of what we wanted, which was actually the second prize from the tournament, and not the first prize, which was actually a fake ring. Excuse me. And we got a message, something along the lines of, you, at long last you would obtain the 4 lost treasures of Bela'diah, or something along those lines. My memory is not exactly great, but I think we should get right into it. Oh, actually, before we get into it though, I'm thinking just because I like the idea of it, this might be a bit of a shorter stream, because I think once I finish with the Hildibrand stuff, I will close out there. I don't know, it just, to me, it feels right, because Hildibrand is that different to the rest of the story of Final Fantasy XIV. It'd be nice, just in my mind, for the streams to be separate. But anyway, let's get into it. Hey, Miss Ellie. Any news yet on this thief? I was wondering when you'd show up, Sorin. I hope you haven't made any plans for today, because we've got a situation on our hands. I'll take that as a yes, then. Remember our good friend, the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Ul'Dan society. Mr. Many Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene. Even no doubt as to the identity of the murderer, the message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mithril-Eye's been selling like Pond's cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Sorin? The hidden treasure of Ul'Dan, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you know who. The Sunsilk Tapestries. I'm not exactly, I know who? Miss Ellie? Oh, Wyman, probably. He's like an information dealer, isn't he? I think I'm remembering correctly where Sunsilk Tapestries is. Yeah, that looks right. Hildibrand. Hello, Mr. Wyman. Well, now, if it ain't my favourite venture and my favourite Mithril-Eye report along with him. Tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help two of my best mates, I'm afraid you found old Wyman at a loss. Ul'Dan has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be just about after any of them. I messed that up. I can't tell you this much, though. Whatever the thief's got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan sworn in a right diver. Word has it they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults from this very threat. The Sultan sworn on to like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Now, come on, Sorin. I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the sworn. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and I find one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I'm ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Sorin. Time is of the essence. Well, I guess we're off, Mr. Wymond. Heart of the Sworn. Where is... up by the Alchemist's Guild. Right. That's actually... No, I still only have 200 poetics. That's not enough to, I think, get any more of nice armor while I'm passing by. So, Alchemist's Guild. Excuse me. Do I know you from somewhere, sir? Miss Ellie? Where have I seen this man before? You two? Excuse me. Halt! Only authorized personnel are allowed in... Full bugger me of a broadsword. It's a gentleman of light's adventuring companion, and that catty but cute reporter from the Bela'diah. Oh, you! From... the Golden Bazaar. Well, well, if it isn't the self-styled warrior of light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that gentleman of light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me, to the depths of my soul like. I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm, just like my hero master Hildibrand. The Sultan sworn were impressed with my commitment and sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildibrand in his investigation, haven't you? Or why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the mates who united with my role model. You'll be one to speak with Phyllis. She's one to Sworn's best, and something of a history buff it seemed. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Bela'diah, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'll be her. Wait here while I get her. I can trust you not to touch anything, aye? Yes, sir? Being a Sultan Sworn's kind of a big deal, right? Pleasure to meet you, Phyllis. My name is Ellie from the Bela'diah. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case, and would appreciate any information to make shed light on recent events. The pleasure is mine, Miss Ellie, and if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here one Sorin Sherwood, yes? Yes, ma'am. You know Sorin? As any regular reader of the Bela'diah would, I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the Inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand. Inspector Bela'diah. The Sultan sworn, the elite of Ul'dah's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Bela'diah, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Sorin, a moment if you would. Right there. Very good. Now face me and don't move an ill. Sir... Inspector, what is that in your... Inspector? Demasking dust. A formula of my own devising to allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analysing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counteragent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector! The Phantom Thief's pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan sworn at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Ul'dah, the last of the 4 lost relics of Bela'diah. I fear not. I have pored through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these 4 relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe 4 sacred artifacts, each one possessed by those 4 Bela'diah heroes. It makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he foiled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Bela'diah origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The Black Guard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady. Okay, so what can we do here? But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we've been far too occupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress, and we'd be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. Inspector? Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong, and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. Ah, but you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame, that. Inspector Hildibrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. Okay. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far, the head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that they were all influential figures in their respective circles, we can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a great sword? Strangled with a subligar, mayhap? I'm afraid that we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up for the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildibrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear you can but spare a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use. I should have that. Oh, okay, no, you don't actually get it. Hello there, Humphrey. The gentleman of light and of flesh! Hells, he's every bit as muscular and majestic as I remembered. Sure. On behalf of the Sultan Sworn, your assistance with the murder investigation is greatly appreciated. Leave the defense of the Royal Vault to us. He may have 1,000 faces, but with Inspector Bela'diah's demasking dust, the masquerade will soon be over. So, Inspector, where do we start? Come to accompany me on yet another case, friend. I like your gusto, but if you are auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Sorin, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed that the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sasamo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues. clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. And pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious, my ever-loyal associate. You must put Miss Phyllis's demasking dust to good use. The 80 sins of Sasamo, they are... Okay, just out the gate of the Sultana. There we go. Must be flowers left for the victim. Flowers. How intriguing. Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Eh? I'm the one who put those flowers there, eh? Drawn in the memory of me poor boy. You dare to file his memory, eh? Eh? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. As I was just saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place. Run away, while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy. Zombies? A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. Not nonsense, my boy. History! Or have you not heard of the horrors of Sildeh? Aye, Ulda's sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye. But I speak of far greater horrors than death, an unholy draught brewed by a Sildan alchemist. One with the power to turn the living to the undead. His nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The traitors spurn. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan Sorin. All alone knows why. They whisked away the body away before I could do so much as pay me last respects. The traitors spurn. I'd heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? Excuse me? A Seldin, I'm sure of it. Aye, only a Seldin would know the recipe. But the lost remnants of Sildeh died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did. He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest God's phantom? Eh? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma I did, about the 4 relics of Bela'diah, and the powers they hold. The power to exact justice. The spectre of Sildeh has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe unto us all, after 4 warriors of light forsaken us. My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books, and never so much breathed the cursed name of Sildeh. But you did, and now we're doomed. Doomed! Mom? I'm a little concerned about her. Zombies. That's how this all started out, wasn't it? That bleeding horse on's here somewhere. I can feel it in my follicles. The most potent air tonic the realm has seen. Aye, that it was. For all the fortnight, before my flowing locks fell out all over again. Just as I was chatting at a lovely young lass to quicksand, just to twist the knife an extra ilm. There's our Lalafell friend. On the bank! Charlatan! I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. Oh. Can't remember what voice I used for him originally. Not that my voices have any consistency anyway. Shades from Silde. Living men turned to zombies. The old crone's lost not just her son, but her wits as well. Inspector, with all due respect, I imagine losing a son is quite traumatic. Anyway, Inspector, do you have any idea? It's all becoming clear to me now! The dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildibrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Ahem. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit caught between the realm of the living and dead for nigh on centuries, since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta, and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true name of the Spectre's grievances? But what is the true nature of the Spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturger's Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Silde might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Bela'diah. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. I guess we're off to the Thaumaturger's Guild. I'd be much obliged if you could keep him out of my way, Sorin. I have some real investigating to do, and would prefer to be free of distractions. Okay, sir. You okay there, Nashi? You've been like uncharacteristically quiet this whole time. Steps of Nod. Do a quick tab out to check that. That's not what I wanted. I want that. Stream health. Yep, stream seems to have all been going okay. I am just going to right. So Thaumaturger's Guild is over this way. Excuse me, ma'am. I'm just here to inquire about the... just about Silde. Researching the ancient feud between Ul'dah and Silde, are you? Most impressive. Young people these days show so little interest in learning from the past. Anyhow, I'm pleased to say I have more than a passing familiarity with ancient history. To understand the history of the sibling nations, one must go back further still to the birth of their mother nation, Bela'diah. The 5th Astral Era was an age of untold wonders, when the arcane arts burgeoned and the great civilizations that commanded such powers flourished. This age of enlightenment would not last, however. Power bred avarice, and avarice bred resentment. It culminated in the War of the Magi, which brought the great floods of the sick vulnerable calamity, which in turn swallowed once proud nations and left a battered wasteland in its wake. Mages were reviled and persecuted for having caused this catastrophe, with many forced to leave their homelands or face death. It was a small band of those survivors that found their way to Fanalan, where they had found the nation of Bela'diah some 8 centuries ago. Ah, imagine, a government of mages, by mages, and for mages. What wonders might have been wrought had Bela'dian civilization survived to this very day. Alas, this was not to be. Ma'am? They say that the thief of many faces is collecting the 4 relics of ancient Bela'diah. Do you suppose he'd be kind enough to show them to me when he's done? Even a cursory glance at them would do wonders for my research. I guess your story is finished? Excuse me, sir. I'm here to look into the history of Silde. You don't say. It's not every day someone comes to our halls to research Silde. As a fellow student of history, though, I'm more than welcome to conversation. Bela'diah civilization flourished in relative peace until twin sons were born to the royal family. The two were fierce rivals, and when they came of age and their father passed, each one claimed that he was the rightful heir to the throne. With neither son willing to relinquish the claim, they agreed to split their kingdom in two, forming the twin nations of Ul'dah and Silde. But not unlike the two proud princes, the sibling nations developed a penchant for rivalry. Excuse me? Excuse me, sir. I'm just here to research a bit about the history of Silde. Greetings, traveller. You would learn of the war between Ul'dah and the fallen Sultanate of Silde. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. The two city-states coexisted for several generations, until the bad blood between them boiled over, culminating in an outright war. As you might deduce from the present state of affairs, Ul'dah emerged victorious, leaving its once proud sibling nation in smouldering ruins. As the histories tell it, the battles fought between the sister nations were the stuff of nightmares. In a desperate attempt to overcome Ul'dah's superior numbers, Sildian alchemists devised a most horrific stratagem. Employing a frightful formula known as the Traitor's Spurn, they brought their fallen warriors back as undead soldiers. Now, some theories have it they even employed the potion on those of the living who were too weak or wounded to fight. Sends shivers up the spine just thinking about it, no? It is truly a crowning glory of our fair nation that our forebears were able to emerge victorious against these horrors. That certainly sounds like a... Hello there, sir. Just floating there. Is that what you can do as a thaumaturge? Is that what they teach? Excuse me, Guildmaster? I just happen to be here, researching the history of Silde. What's that you say? You seek knowledge of the bad blood between Ul'dah and Silde? I suppose I can spare myself a moment or two. But take good notes. I'm not fond of repeating myself. 2 scales, one of gold and one of silver. The gold of Ul'dah weighing prosperity and power. The silver of Silde weighing knowledge and power. But the power sought by the two nations differed greatly. Yes, greatly indeed. The power wrought by Ul'dah and prosperity was that of justice and good, while the power wrought by Silde and knowledge was horrific beyond belief. The power to rip the living soul out of a man, and render him a mindless killing machine. On this matter the histories are clear, but riddle me this, my friend. Who writes the histories, and what does this say of the words written within? Yes, truth can be elusive and fickle as the shifting sands. As one example, did you know that in the war against Silde, Ul'dah and Amaljal warriors fought side by side? Likely you did not, and neither did I, until I encountered a faded passage in an ancient text very deep in our archives. And yet, in the histories read by the populace, you will see no mention of this most fascinating fact. Might it be that someone, at some time, deemed this particular truth less than convenient? But I have said enough already. That is kind of interesting. I'm not surprised, though, that with the current state of affairs, that people probably wouldn't want to believe that the Amaljal were once, I guess, friendly with. Anyway, Inspector, how's your studies going? My ever-loyal associate, tell me, what have you learned from your questioning of the scholars in these halls? Bits and pieces, nothing I'm particularly sure is going to be helpful. Indeed, as it happens, I have learned much the same. Let's take a moment to review, and allow my peerless powers of deduction to work their magic. A war of succession divides the great civilization of Bela'diah, giving rise to the sibling nations of Ul'dah and Silde. Two nations coexist for some generations until ill blood boils over, culminating in outright war. Daunted by Ul'dah's superior military might, Silde employs their advanced alchemical knowledge to horrific ends, transforming their own citizens, alive and dead, into a fearsome undead legion. Yes, I believe I have it! The facts at hand have led me to one unassailable conclusion. Our phantom thief is a descendant of doomed Silde, who seeks vengeance against those who reduced his countrymen to slavering zombies. To pacify his soul and send him peacefully to the next world, there is but one course of action. We must find the Sildan statesman who conceived this dreadful stratagem and have him apologize to the thief in person for the suffering he has wrought. Inspector, I see just one or two, just minor issues with a brilliant plan. Perhaps you'd like to go find yourself a shovel and dig the statesman out of his grave yourself. Yeah, that problem, sir. Leaving aside this nonsense of spirits and spectres, it appears increasingly likely that our quarry shares some link to Hildibrand. His garish garb is no doubt meant to evoke the silver scales of the fallen sultanate. This Hildibrand connection would also serve to explain the rare knowledge of Bela'diah relics our thief clearly possesses. But what of the murder victims? What common thread amongst them could have incurred the ire of our adversary? A few people in town spoke of a man sighted calling upon the victims in the past days. Those who saw him said he had a most frightened air about him. Wait! Yes! It's coming to me! Of course! My keen and vector senses ring out with a voice loud and clear. This man Miss Ellie speaks of just might know something. You really should stop thinking so hard. You're like to strain a brain muscle. Miss Ellie, who is this man, and where might we find him? My sources identified the man as Guguria, a travelling merchant known to frequent Horizon. Shall we pay him a visit? Sounds like a lead. Horizon, she said, right? Horizon. Okay. Oh, right there. Inspector? Is this our merchant? My keen instincts tell me that Master Guguria's testimony will be key to a monumental breakthrough in our investigation. Yes, I shall employ the ancient mandeville out of parley to skillfully extract the information we require. With all due respect, Inspector, how about we let Master Inspector Bela'diah have a turn? You know, isn't it gentlemanly to, share? Yes, if you got business, make it quick. My time's too valuable to waste chatting with every stranger who passes by. Forgive us, good sir. My name is Ellie, a reporter with the Mithril Eye, never blinking, all-seeing, you know the rest. I was wondering if we could trouble you with just a few questions. Was it for love or money that you killed him? Yes, you, the thief of many faces! Me? Thief? What is this nonsense? I don't know who you are, but I ain't got the time or patience for this mummery. Now, if you'll excuse me, an important client awaits. I thought I recognized that voice. Oh, Lady Drilda. Lady Drilda! Well met indeed! Pray tell, whatever brings you to these environs this fair evening? Wait, I live here, you ham-headed half-wit! Inspector Bela'diah, this is an unexpected pleasure. Do you have some business with my associate here, pray tell? Guguria, we can discuss business after. Pray lend the inspector here, the handsome one, whatever assistance he requires. But Lady Drilda, what about... Ah yes, my dear Maria's name day present. I had in mind one of the prized pieces from Eshtaim's latest seasonal collection. You would be able to procure one for me, yes? Or shall I eliminate the middleman and make the trip to Ul'dah myself? I'll say it once more, Guguria. I expect you to give the inspector and his companions your full assistance. They, yes, even the stupid one, helped me regain something truly priceless. Yes, something more valuable than any mere trinket. That was unexpected, but that was nice to see. Alright, I'll tell you what I know, but you didn't hear it from me, got it? I was looking into the killing on behalf of a client of mine. The thief's got himself some of that zombie dust. The traitor's spurn, was it? And his cards speak of 5 victims. Got me to thinking. Hildibrand, 5 victims? Aye, the Arbiters of Truth. The Arbiters of Truth? I'm not familiar with the name. Aye, few would be, on account of them being something of a secret society, and all. Influential personages of the Sultanate, you see. working from the shadows to keep false knowledge about the Ulda-Silda conflict from reaching the ears of folk like you and me. False knowledge? Pray tell, just what sort of knowledge might that be? Excuse me. False balls, don't make you say no more. I've got a family to feed. Very well, just tell us one last thing. Who hired you, and where can we find him? Hob. His name's Hob. When he heard what I said, he told me that he was going to set sail for Limso with his 5 best sellswords to guard his back. Said there were many prying eyes at the airship docks. Said he had a private ship docked and waiting for him at Vesper Bay. But remember, you didn't hear none of this from me. This man Hob must be one of the killer's targets. Doubtless he also knows the identity of the remaining one. I doubt that. They say the Arbiters are so secretive they don't even know each other's true identities. Now, don't ask me how that all works, but Hope's got high-ranking friends in the Brass Blades. Once he heard the victims had all been zombified, he panicked. I guess he knew that he'd be next. Thank you very much, my kind sir. Once again, the ancient Mandeville out of Parley has procured for us a key morsel of knowledge. Let us seek out this Hob fellow and see what he can share with us. Let us hurry. The man's life is in danger even as we speak. Inspector Hildibrand has a point there. Thanks for your help, Mr. Guguria. I would hear what this Hob fellow has to say. Come, my ever-loyal associate. Let us away to Vesper Bay with all speed. I guess I'll go on ahead then. I've got Magitech armor after all. Let's go, Maggie. So, let's follow the path to Vesper Bay. Look for... That doesn't look like a Hob. Maybe already made it to the ship? That's a little bit of a... That looks like a problem. Excuse me. I think... Master Hob, is everything quite alright? No! Stand back, Ellie! Oh. Hunger. I hunger for your brains! Damn, there's no saving the man. Sorin, do what you must. Yes, sir. Yes, my first-hand knowledge of zombies tells me this particular shade of green is unmistakably that of the undead. It would seem we were a few moments late to the scene. A message. And then there was one. Here it is again. Is something the matter, Inspector? Indeed, Nashu, there is. Ever since I picked up the trail of the Phantom Thief, I've had this fleeting sense. A sense that someone, or something, is watching us. The thief might be close at hand. We should be careful. For the moment, let us return and report our findings to Miss Phyllis. A secret society or no, knowing the identities of its members may yet lead us to the final victim. I, too, had best return to the Mithril Eye. Let's meet up again after. I'll see what new clues I can uncover in the meantime. You will do nothing of the sort, Miss Ellie. These streets are far too dangerous for you to walk alone. Inspector! Inspector! I'll go with her. If you insist, Nashu, then I give my leave. But pray be wary, not just of the thief, but of Miss Ellie. She has quite the temper, as we both know. You okay there, Inspector? That was a little out of character for you. Miss Ellie, there's something I must tell you when this case is over. Be safe, and promise me that you will not attempt anything rash, as you did that time when the fiend took aim at my own life. Oh, your life, at cost a little soul. Yes, that was quite the ordeal, wasn't it? Just look... Particularly Sorin, just the ways you crane his neck. It's very interesting ceiling rafters. I'll be careful, I promise. I eagerly await the day when I may hear what it is you would share with me. A secret vow! Oh ho! Consider my interest piqued as well, good Inspector. Now let us be off. Miss Phyllis awaits our report. I think I might be seeing what's going on. I'll just keep quiet about it for now. Not good to jump to conclusions like that after all. Especially if I might be wrong. Some shifty-looking fellow was eyeing the vaults before, but he took off faster than a fleeing cactuar as soon as my gaze met his. Aye, just like I cowed many a guardian on the plains of... Oh, it's you. Mr. Humphrey, are you definitely... Nope. In the Sultan sworn by your own merit. The news of Hobbs' death will not sit well with Miss Phyllis, but a gentleman must do what a gentleman must do. Inspector, if you wouldn't mind, please leave conveying someone's death to someone with more tact, maybe? Miss Phyllis? A fourth victim? Oh, have mercy. Were you able to glean aught of the connection to the other victims? The arbiters of truth? No, it cannot be. Somebody, help! That was Miss Ellie's voice. Oh, what was that? Miss Ellie? The voice came from the direction of the vault. We must hurry. Miss Ellie, are you hurt? That man, I only thought to ask him a few questions. Before I knew what was happening, he was upon me. I could only... Ash's brains were conveniently placed bottle of meat, it would seem. Haha, remind me not to get on your bad side, Miss Ellie. That said, is Nashi not with you? She saw a figure lurking in the shadows and went off in pursuit before I could stop her. This man wears the armor of a Sultan sworn squire. Yet his face is unfamiliar to me, and something is amiss. Demasking dust. It's the thief. The thief of many faces? To think we would find our man like this. Thrice and again did the fiend elude our grasp, but no more, by virtue of a gentleman's ingenious deductions and a lady's pugilistic puissance. I declare this case closed. Surely it can't be that simple. I return this sachet to you, Miss Phyllis. Whilst the gesture was appreciated, in the end it proved superfluous to my cracking of the case. Inspector, maybe I should just give up. While you're at it, is there anything else of immense value that you'd like to wantonly destroy? That was the Sultan sworn who was there when we first arrived. What is the meaning of this? Ingenious. A double disguise. Planted by the thief to throw us off his trail, no doubt. This is Greech, one of my most capable men. I assigned him to guard the vault and outfitted him with an ample supply of demasking dust. It is inconceivable that the thief would so easily elude his grasp. Unless... the thief was not wearing a mask. Inspector? Speaking of which, has anyone seen Miss Ellie? No, that's impossible. Of course. It all makes perfect sense. With the Phantom Thief to thank for her burgeoning readership and rise through the ranks at the Mithril Eye, Miss Ellie could not bear to face the possibility of her story of a lifetime coming to an end. Thus, she hatched a plan to... Was it just me, or was what Inspector Hildibrand was saying there actually sounding like it made sense for once? My lady, the vault has been breached! The wise man's whisper! It's gone! For her foul crimes against the Sultanate, I hereby declare Ellie of the Mithril Eye, the thief of many faces, an enemy of the state. Deploy all troops, and do not rest until she is in custody. And now the game is truly afoot. Bah! What is the meaning of all this racket and rumpus? And just as we were about to make our triumphant return. Isn't that so, Enkidu? Miss Ellie! Miss Ellie! That shadow you said you saw? I think it was just a dormouse. Dormouse. Oh. To think he'd literally stumble face first onto the second mask. His good fortune truly knows no end. But not to worry. Yes, I dare say the Phantom Thief has another trick or two up his sleeve. This wasn't how I was expecting things to end up, Miss Phyllis. How could we have been so blind? Inspector Bela'diah? When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable. Inspector Hildibrand? What do you think our next step should be? My ever-loyal associate, we must find Miss Ellie, and quickly. Surely if confronted by her constant companions, she can still be convinced to abandon this fool plan. Oh, Miss Phyllis, I thought you had already departed in the company of your men, but all for the better. Shall we conduct the search together? I fear that would only put them at greater risk. Miss Phyllis? You see, the fifth and final member of the Arbiters of Truth, the Phantom Thief's final target is none other than... Hildibrand Mander! Me. And mind you, it is not a role I sought of my own accord. My name and my passion for history are somewhat well known in the Sultanate. One day I received an anonymous letter stating that a position in the committee had opened, and I had been chosen to fill it. The letter went on to enumerate my duties, to prevent the spread of historical lies that would sully the name of our illustrious nation. As a high-ranking officer in the Sultan's Sworn, I was deemed to be in a particularly unique position to serve as an arbiter. I knew that there were other members of the organization, but was told nothing of their names or identities. To think that my unknown compatriots were the victims all along. I cannot put any more lives in danger. I will sequester myself in a place where my presence can cause no harm, until such time as the killer is apprehended. Your concern for our well-being is most touching, Miss Phyllis, but there is no need for such caution. As a seasoned inspector, I am more than capable of protecting a lady in distress. And as a gentleman, that is exactly what I shall do. My associates here also stand at your side. Speaking of which, has anyone seen my loyal assistant? Inspector, over here! Oh, there's Miss Nashi. You okay? What happened with that shadow you were chasing? Ah, there you are, Nashi. You really shouldn't run off on your own like that. I was worried sick about you. I'm sorry, Inspector. Miss Ellie said she saw somebody in the shadows, so I went to take a look. Now, there wasn't anything there but a dormouse, but it was a really cute dormouse, you see? It just kept squeaking and scurrying away, and I just... pardon me for a moment. Pardon me for a moment, Nashi. Yes, my inspector's sense speaks to me. Someone is watching us. Sorin, let us split up and canvass our surroundings. Okay. Someone's watching us. Everyone okay? No? Where's Miss Ellie? Do you think she went looking for the Dormouse too? Apologies, Sorin, but I require a moment alone with my thoughts. Of course, Mr. Bela'diah. Miss Phyllis? I cannot allow my presence to put my men in danger. Also, fair enough, I guess. I'll head out looking for clues. This wasn't sitting here before. Be wary and be warned. Be warned of what? Be wary of... Excuse me? Wait, is that another one? Trust no one, and your friends all the less. Wait, is the beef still among us? Should I maybe go back? Maybe it's not a good idea to leave everyone split up like this. This one's got something with it. This will avail you well. Use it wisely. A sachet of demasking dust. And is that someone behind me? Oh no. Mr. Manderville. Oh ho ho! If it isn't my beloved son's staunch companion, the mighty Sorin. I was in the area on a matter of business, which I curtailed when I felt a suspicious presence from the shadows. Pursuing it led me here. Mayhap it is the same for you. I guess you could say that, sir. I've been finding these weird letters about. Oh ho! So your pursuit of the Thief of Many Faces has taken quite the unexpected turn, and now you've come across a series of anonymous letters. Mayhap our watcher in the shadows is a friend, or is this but another trap laid by the fiend? Yes, the plot thickens like a dollop of salamander oil. Please don't mention salamander oil, sir. In either event, I dare say the circumstances call for utmost caution. The thief could be anywhere, or anyone. Myself excluded, of course. No mere mask could replicate the physique of this Manderville man. That said, I fear my dear Hildy may be in a bit over his head this time. Allow me to assist in your investigation. Were anything to happen to Hildibrand, his dear mother would... not be pleased. Any help we could take would be appreciated, sir. I can't deny it's probably a little difficult to replicate the whole Manderville thing. Hello, here again. Something just isn't right. Okay. Still the same. Okay, everyone's lines are still the same. Mr. Manderville? If the sender speaks true, the villain even now lurks within our midst, and yet we have but a single sachet of demasking dust at our disposal. We must identify the impostor beyond reasonable doubt before we proceed. You know the players better than I, Sorin. Let's say you have a few words with each of them, and see if aught seems amiss. Miss Phyllis? Am I doomed to share the same fate as the others? I'd sooner die than become one of those things. Miss Ellie is the Phantom Thief. It is the only logical conclusion, and yet I cannot help but feel that another truth still evades us. Inspector Bela'diah told me all about it. Who'd have thunk Miss Ellie was the Phantom Thief all this time? She sure fooled me. Oh, hi Catherine. How are things going for you today? Still hot and humid over there? Nothing particularly odd about any of them, you say? Stands to reason. The fiend would not take such a risk if he were not utterly confident that he could pull off the ruse. Curses, this one's not half the fool his son is. I must elude him, and quickly. Time is of the essence. Oh. Inspector Hildibrand? I questioned the Sultan sworn outside. To a man, they insist they have seen naught of Miss Ellie. Wherever could she have gone? Father, what brings you here? I kind of just found him on the stairs. Yes, finally the pieces are coming together. Now if you would kindly stand still and shut up, the fiend already stands among us. Inspector Bela'diah, I should hope you're not doubting me. Well, I'm quite convinced that even a master impersonator would struggle to recreate your particular brand of idiocy. The fact remains that anyone here who has spent even a moment alone must be considered a suspect. The thief has proven to be highly efficient at assuming new identities. An astute observation, my gangly friend. I'd say that this occasion calls for a dose or two of that powder Sorin here found earlier. There wouldn't happen to be another sachet or two lying about, would there? What remains of our supply has already been distributed to the search party. But worry not, they should be reporting back within a bell's time. Time might be against me, but you watch. I'll wiggle my way out of this and turn you into the reeking, drooling corpse you deserve to be. Oh, you've got AC. That would be nice. Was tempted. I was in a hardware store yesterday and saw an air conditioning unit and was very tempted to pick one up. But, I don't know. It's not hot enough for me to drop £250 on something I'll only be able to use like a couple of months each year. I fear that is far more time than we can afford, Miss Phyllis. Fortunately, my powers of deduction will lay the fiend's face bare within minutes. Inspector? We know that, given the choice, the thief prefers to impersonate familiar personages. As Miss Ellie has had only passing interactions with my dear father, we can safely eliminate him from consideration. That leaves myself, Nashu, and Sorin here. Nashu and I in particular have had a close and extended relationship with our suspect. I shall begin by questioning my known assistant. I assure you that none know her better than I. Brilliant reasoning as ever, Inspector. Go on, ask me anything. All the time for this overstuffed buffoon to start making sense. If he asks me anything too obscure, my cover's as good as blowing. My relationship with Nashu is so close, I dare say at times it is we share a mind. If this Nashu is truly my ever-loyal assistant, she should have no trouble completing my thoughts. Ahem! I'm a Manderville! Man! Oh no. Inspector, is this doing what only a Manderville can? From the peaks of Curfus to Fanalan, Manderville? Man, you're the best, Inspector! A perfect score! You may rest easy, dear friends. This is unmistakably, unequivocally, indubitably the true Nashu. I've never loved you more than now, you marvellous muttonhead, you. Nashu, is something the matter? Just because you've picked up a few more wrinkles beneath the eye, there's no need to avert that charming face of yours. Wrinkles! Wrinkles! Look who's talking, you crusty, cretinous old... Genius Inspector? Okay. I think we've... The charade is up, Miss Ellie. That is... not Miss Ellie. I don't know who that is. Miss Ellie? You look somehow... different. Oh, hi Mooney. How are things going with you? But the letter spoke true. The fiend was in our midst all along. This does raise the question of where is, the real Miss Nashi? Inspector? My prodigious powers of deduction scream out to me. This woman knows something. That would kind of be what you'd assume, sir. Miss Phyllis? I was all but certain Ellie was our thief. What is the meaning of this? Another two-layered mask, mayhap? But no. This woman bears a striking resemblance to Miss Ellie. I guess a little. 7 hells, done in by a muscle-bound muttonhead and his motley troop of mummers. Just who are you? Your resemblance to Miss Ellie is most uncanny, and yet... Consulting Inspector Bela'diah, once again, you fail to measure up to your lofty reputation. Of course we resemble each other. Ellie is, after all, my own flesh and blood, my beloved sister, and my eminently capable partner in crime. Miss Ellie did mention she had a sister, didn't she? 1,000 faces I'm aware, but only one name do I bear. You can call me Ceci. Charmed, I'm sure. Are you quite alright? Why, you look as if you've seen a ghost. Despite my moniker, I assure you that Ellie and I are no spectres. What we are, mind you, are the last living scions of Sildin aristocracy. Amused, are you? Befuddled? To find 2 sisters behind the mask? Try using your brains once in a while. Every time you encountered the thief, Ellie was standing right in your midst. No, the thief that 4 times stole the show, oh, and those priceless relics, was me. Meanwhile, Ellie hid in plain sight, supplying me with just the knowledge I needed to stay one step ahead of my pursuers, all while spinning the hair-raising tales of my exploits that won the hearts of this nation. We owe a lot to you, truly. Why, without the tales of your hapless attempts to catch me, we never could have risen to these heights of celebrity. Miss Ceci, from a gentleman to a lady, I would ask you one thing and one thing only. Just what is it that you and Miss Ellie hope to accomplish with all of your schemes? Inspector, can I just say I'm glad you actually asked a serious question there. Justice! 400 years ago, Ul'dan dogs reduced our great nation to a nation of zombies. At long last, the cowards that would still justify these foul deeds will suffer the same fate. Wait, the histories say that it was Bela'diah that turned their own men into zombies. The histories lie! And you work from the shadows, silencing those who would speak the truth. You should have died with your fellows, false arbiter. Oh. It was Ul'dan that ordered the creation of that dreadful powder, and wielded it as a weapon against our proud ancestors. The history of your glorious sultanate is built on a lie. What is this madness you speak, woman? Not madness. Truth. The powder in my possession was stolen from the Ul'dan armory 4 centuries ago by one of my ancestors. They say it was his final act of courage in the moments before his leg fell off and his rotting head dropped from his shoulders. This is the truth that the histories don't tell. The truth that this doe-eyed sultan sworn would kill to keep buried in the sands of Fanalan. But your time of reckoning is nigh. Oh yes, before long, you and everyone in this rotten nation will know firsthand the horrors my ancestors knew. And just what do you mean by that? Oh, how the idiots lap up the stories. A masked crusader for justice, a dashing rebel waging battle against power and authority. Oh, if only they knew. But they will see soon enough, when they're eating each other's brains out on the streets. In the last days before our proud nation was razed to the ground, a band of the final survivors stole a vast quantity of the powder from the Ul'dan vaults, hiding it away in a secret vault sealed with powerful magics. The sole means by which the vault may be opened? By assembling 4 secret relics from Bela'diah. 4 relics once housed in the royal palace of Sildin, before the Ul'dan dogs stole them and claimed them for their own. And so it dawns upon you at last. Yes, even as we speak, Ellie makes for the vault. Excuse me. The 4 relics safely in hand. Just think, one day you'll be able to tell your grandchildren you were there when zombie powder rained down on Ul'dan. No, wait. You'll all be dead! Preposterous! But first, you, my dear. You will not even have the pleasure of looking upon the last moments of your precious homeland. Let your flesh rot like all of your rotten lies. I think not, Miss Ceci. Inspector, that was maybe not a... Oh... I mean, he's been dead before, right? Hildibrand! You idiot! Just for once, could you not get in the way? Godbird Mandeville? I can't even trust your sorry arse to look after him for a day. You look familiar. That looked painful. I knew it! That presence watching over us from the shadows! It was you, my dear wife! Mrs. Mandeville? Mr. Mandeville, is everything okay? You're looking a little... Oh. Anyone who can deal with Mr. Mandeville like that is probably someone I should not annoy. Am I to understand that you are Hildibrand's mother? Greg, this is not the time. Aye, this is more like it. Hand to hand, skillet to skillet. It's enough to send a warrior's pulse racing. Prepare yourself, Sorin. The time of our final confrontation is nigh. Gilgamesh. This... I guess we're doing this now. I'll accept that. Do you have proper toast for brains, you overstuffed buffoon? My beloved boy's been turned into a stinking corpse if you hadn't bloody noticed. You, Sorin or something, was it? Yes, ma'am? Hildy's told me all about your hijinks together. Pleased to meet you. Pleasure to meet you too, ma'am. My dear boy's always on a bit of a rebellious streak. What can I say? I can come on a bit too strong at times. But can you blame me? This time I thought I'd sit back and leave things to my sorry-arse husband here. Look what that got me. You'll help me out, won't you? Of course, ma'am. Not a problem. Anything I can do to help. Oh, yeah. Hildibrand relic weapons. Yes. Just a frying pan. What would that be, though? That'd be like a warrior weapon? I guess you'd want it to be a warrior weapon, wouldn't it? The frying pan. Well... They're just unconscious, right? Well, Mr. Hildibrand is maybe a little bit more than... I dare say it's quite clear who wears the pants in the family, so to speak. Miss Phyllis? Inspector Hildibrand's mother. Mr. Gilgamesh? He doesn't appear to be breathing. Ma'am, how can I help? Reunited with my dear boy for the first time in ages, and just look at him! He's green! Fortunately, there's still time to reverse this zombie curse, and I have just the remedy. A vial of holy water. Ingredients are simple. A tatter of oversoul rags, and a vial of twice distilled water. St. God at the market stocks the former, and the latter you can procure from a trader by the name of Guest. Now hurry! Once the poison spreads throughout his veins, no antidote will save him. In the meantime, I will search for the bumbler's bumbling assistant. With any luck, Miss Nashu is still alive. Oh, Mr. Gilgamesh, you got up surprisingly quickly. Oh, shut smarts! Ye gods, Hildy! You're not looking none too hard at yourself! No thanks to you, you bumbling oaf! Now, are you going to accompany Sorin here and make yourself useful, or do I have to reintroduce you to that wall? But of course, milady, Gilgamesh is ever at your service. St. God Sundries, was it? Come on now, Sorin. There is work to be done. So, a piece of oversold rags from Sincott Sundries and a bottle of twice distilled water from the trader Guest. Now hurry, Godsdown. My dear boy's life is at stake. Yes, ma'am. Right on that. Where's the nearest Aethernet shard? Also, say though, those are not close to the ingredients you need to make holy water. I cannot remember for the life of me what the ingredients were. But I am... But holy water is an alchemist recipe you can make in Heavensward. Oversold rags, you say? I fear I've only a single tatter left in stock, and it's already been spoken for. But, my good man, you must reconsider. My dear friend's life, and quite possibly mine own as well, hangs in the balance. I sympathize with your plight, friend, but a man has to make a living. I've been promised a copious supply of rare chimera membrane for these rags. Unless you can offer me the same, no deal. Gah! And you expect us to be able to summon such a rarity out of nowhere, at a moment's notice? Well, look what we have here. If it isn't the Warrior of Light from the Colosseum. Funny who you meet at the markets. Miss Alvia, was it? And, I can't remember your sister's name. Avila, that was it. As it happens, I just returned from my training, and the slaying of 10 chimeras just happened to be my task for today. If it's chimera membrane you speak, you're more than welcome to a share. Thank you, ma'am. This is for Inspector Hildibrand. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. My lady, you're far too kind! Don't mention it. If it hadn't been for Inspector Hildibrand and Sorin here, I'd still be tag teaming with that slimy beast and cheating my way to fame and fortune. And I'm a woman who pays her debts. But thank you again, ma'am, and I wish you the best in the Colosseum. Fall take me if that wasn't Avila the Tempest! Ever since she confessed to her trickery and started climbing back up from the bottom of the ranks, I've been proud to call myself one of her biggest fans. Why, I've half a mind to give you the rags you seek simply for the privilege of meeting her. Well, you can have them anyway, sir. I'm sure they'll be more helpful to you than me. A kind sentiment, my good man, but we are more than happy to uphold our side of the bargain, aren't we, Sorin? And with this, our task here is done. Now, let us find this traitor named Guest. Okay. Where might we find him? My magic map is telling me Austin Strip. Go. Excuse me, might you be Mr. Guest? Mr. Gilgamesh is here as well. I'm guessing he's found the right one. Blundering Mandeville boy's on his last legs, and you need something of mine to save him, you say? Perhaps you can give me a good reason why I should care. Those bloody Mandevilles are richer than the traders themselves, yet they have the audacity to haggle me down to the last gill for every purchase. If the family line ended today, I'd be a happier and wealthier man. And now, I believe the ballroom calls. Good day to you, and do pass along my condolences to the grieving parents. Have you not a shred of honour or compassion in that spindly body? Business rival or no, the man is on death's doorstep. After the events of that day, my father will not so easily forgive and forget, but it matters not to me. No, my love for you is as deep as the seven seas. I beg of you, milady, may I have this dance? Oh, it's him. I forgot what voice. It's like a kind of a bratty voice I tried to put on for him. I couldn't remember if it was exactly him or someone else. Lady Arabella. Sorin, what a lovely surprise. Are you here for the ball, perchance? No, I'm trying to purchase some holy water from this gentleman. Inspector Hildibrand's in a not good shape. Heavens, the poor Inspector. Well, if it isn't a lapis maiden in the flesh! What say you bid farewell to the preening fops and scruffy adventurers, and share a dance with a cultured gentleman befitting your great beauty? Why, it would be a pleasure and an honour both, my lord. Lady Arabella? Provided you first provide my good friend Sorin with a bottle of twice distilled water that he seeks. Oh. You can be... Lady Arabella can... knows what she's doing, I guess. You know this man? Bah! If that is the price you would set, then so be it. Take it. It's barely worth its weight in gil anyway. Now, shall we, Miss Arabella? Thank you, sir. And thank you, Lady Arabella. I'll make sure... Actually, maybe I shouldn't mention who it was to Mr. Mandeville. It might... It might go to his head. I knew Hildy was to be a worthy rival, but to think he was disbeloved by so many. Clearly this realm would deeply mourn his loss. Quickly, Sorin, let us deliver these goods while there is still time to save him. Off we go, Mr. Gilgamesh. Mr. Mandeville is back up, I can see that. And, what about Miss Sassy and I'm guessing Miss Phyllis took her into custody? I trust the two of you wouldn't dare to come back empty-handed. No, definitely not, ma'am. Here we go, quick. There's oversold rags and twice distilled water. Bloody brilliant. I'd take you over my musclehead half-wit of a husband any day. Now, stand back and let me show you some real Mandeville home cooking. Fall, you bloody bugger! Guide my skillet! Aye, that should stop its spread. Now it's up to Hildy to flush what's left out of his system. But don't worry, he's my son after all. I reckon he's still got some fight left in him. I'm sure he does, ma'am. Look who I found. She was slumbering obliviously in a rubbish-strewn corner of Pearl Lane. Boy, did that nap feel good. Nice to see you again, Miss Nashi. Yes, I'm sure it did. Sorin, word has it that Ellie has been sighted at the Sildin ruins. We must go there with all haste. Yeah, we still have to stop this, don't we? You've done well by my dear boy today. Don't worry, I'll handle things from here. There's a nice warm bed for him, and I think I know a few specialists who might know a thing or two about his condition. What the seven hell do you stand around for? The future of Ildara's at stake. Oh, that it is, isn't it? We should probably get moving then. Sorin, my strength is yours as well, for Ul'dah, and for our friend Hildy. You remind me of my husband. What if you have more muscles and sense? If you're so keen on making yourself useful, why don't you run to the markets and bring me some fire crystals? Good, my dear boy warm is key to fighting off the zombification. Let's see, I believe 20 crates or so should suffice. I am a warrior, not an Remember who you're talking to, Mr. Gilgamesh. Yes, my lady. I say, Enkidu, the burden we must bear simply to secure my long-awaited final confrontation with Sorin. That said, the events of today have given me cause to reflect. Sorin and Hildy both. Oh, to be blessed with such veritable legions of friends, tried and true. But alas, not I. No, only one true friend have I ever known, and she is long lost to me. You are a fine bird, and have given me great comfort in my travels. But you will never be Enkidu, my one and true companion. Oh, my friend, were you here with me, even Sorin could not stand against our combined might. Oh, Enkidu, wherever you may wander, hear my words and return here to my side. Enkidu, do you hear me? Enkidu! Crystals and conviction in the same place. Ye gods! What was that flash from the heavens? It nearly blinded me, and... What? The crystals! Where have they gone? Fancy meeting you here, old friend. That voice! Could it be? My faithful companion, why must you always make me wait so? I can't really have Sorin's reaction to that, because Sorin doesn't know that's happening. Oh, that's still... My stream isn't... Am I getting any lag? Nope, stream has been saying it's... Comes with visual... If it comes with the sound effects, yes. I would start maining whatever class has the frying pan just for that. Okay, this one's shit. My connection to Final Fantasy seems a little... My ping seems a little higher than normal. For last vow, this is the finale. What are you doing dilly-dallying around here? Let me jog your memory. There's a moonsick maid digging around a facility an excavation site with a mindset on turning Ul'dah into Land of the Walking Dead. Concern for Hildy is most touching, but don't you worry. Mummy Dearest isn't going to let her beloved son kick the bucket that easily. He's still not looking a particularly healthy shade of... grey, ma'am. But, I'll leave you to it, then. I wouldn't expect it to have the weapons to have sound effects, because my experience... I know not weapon hit sound effects anyway. I know like the Mog weapons have like sound effects for when you draw and sheath them. There's Miss Phyllis and Miss Ceci. Miss Phyllis? We've managed to track down Miss Ellie just up ahead, where your friends watch over as we speak. Yet no matter how many times we try to reach out to her, she refuses to so much as answer. Needless to say, we've considered physically incapacitating her, but that crate she's sitting on isn't just a makeshift chair. It's filled to the brim with traitor's spurn. One misstep, and the consequences could be dire indeed. You are our only hope, Sorin. Even in our single-minded rage, surely the time you spent together must still count for something. You need not put yourself in undue danger. I only ask that you step forth to where your voice may be heard, and call out your friend's name. I beg of you, Sorin. Surely if anyone can convince the woman to abandon her madness, it is you. I can try, ma'am. That's all I can do. Mr. Gilgamesh, weren't you supposed to be fetching fire crystals? It's probably really not a good idea to make Mrs. Mandeville angry. Oh ho! To think this girl and her sister were behind the crimes all along! I dare say this realm is awash with capable adversaries. Oh, I don't... Miss Ellie! And I thought we were friends. You do well not to anger the last friend. She's sitting on top of an ample supply of that zombie powder, and I suspect she's not afraid to use it. Beggar's belief that I could have been so blind. Okay, so I need to say... Like that again? Miss Ellie? The sword, the ring, necklace, and guessing its earring with a silver scale. That final relic? Sorin, I suggest you leave this place while you still can. I bear you no grudge, but should you so much think of interfering, I'll not hesitate to turn you into a zombie too. So it was you after all. Consider me disappointed. Inspector, is everything okay? Your sister Ceci is already in custody. Surrender now, and I will see that no harm befalls her. How little you understand us, Inspector. Then again, how could one born into a life of power and privilege ever hope to understand? Ceci and I have no family, no friends, no fortune, nothing. 2 sisters against a world, with only our quest for justice to give us meaning. Long ago we made a vow. Should the worst happen, our mission takes priority over all. Yes, over even our wretched lives. Do you see now? Anything I might have once had to lose, I lost long ago. Now stand down, or suffer the same fate as the old damn dogs you would defend. Ellie, stop this madness! I'm sorry, Inspector. Oh. That's a lot of zombies. And they don't look like... There's too many of them! We do have a Mandeville man here. All in a day's work for a Mandeville man! And now, it's hammer time! And there you go, with a Goldsmith's level 3 limit break. Gilgamesh just happy he gets to finally actually fight something. There's still a lot of them though. You only delay the inevitable. I have an entire legion of the undead at my beck and call. Face it, it's only for Inspector Hildibrand's ridiculously good fortune that you even made it this far. And he's as good as 6 films under. Be forewarned, girl. Know that I speak from experience when I say underestimate Hildy, and you do so at your own peril. I'm afraid you underestimate me as well. No mere splash of holy water can stave off the effects of the traitor's spurn. I fear the good Inspector's luck has finally run out. False balls, is there no end to them? I'm not liking our chances. Greg, was it? It's a shame to lose you, Sorin. Warrior of light that you are, you might yet have served one last purpose for us. Go forth, my zombie minions! That's a... Oh... When darkness falls, and hope fades to despair, 4 warriors born of light shall descend into righteous glare. Bucker me for broadsword! Are my eyes to be believed? That pose! No, these are not 4 warriors of light that I see. They are 4 gentlemen of light! It's the blinking. Oh, he does stop blinking eventually. Okay. Just say, my good man, Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Did you miss me? Yeah, he did kind of have a way with zombies, didn't he? Aye, we meet again, girl. Tell me you've got me snurble tonic or I'll fashion myself a wig from your lovely locks after I've ripped them clean from your bloody head. Mr. Elazar? Oh, hello there, Mr. Elazar. Cor, you're looking absolutely resplendent today. Impossible! impossible! The holy water couldn't have cured him! It didn't. Fortunately, our overlord spent quite some time building up an immunity to zombie powder. When we heard that Master Hildibrand was at the risk of joining the actual dead, we knew we had to take action. An immunity to... I'm just going to pretend that makes any kind of sense. Oh, also looking at how chat is going, I feel I've got one of those days where the ping is incredibly bad. The latency. The game is up, Miss Ellie. Pray abandon this madness. Besides, plots of mass murder hardly suit a lady like yourself. That's a point, Miss Ellie. If you do distribute the powder all across Ul'dah, we're going to have an entire civilization of the gentle dead men. It's over. It's all over. Inspector Bela'diah, you said there was something you would tell me when all was through. I imagine you have no words for me now. Ellie, your powers of deduction are wanting. You said that you had lost everything and everyone you had to lose, did you not? As for me, I have found something. Someone, with whom I intend never to part. I care not if it takes years, even decades. When you emerge from your gaol cell a free woman, I will be there. What say you? I guess I was kind of right then? Oh. I'll see you around, Money. Miss Ellie, while the crimes perpetrated by you and your sister are unpardonable, you are far from the only ones guilty. On behalf of the Syndicate, I offer my apologies for the false aspersions cast upon your ancestors. You said that the nation of Ul'dah was built on lies. Seeing what I have seen today, I cannot deny your words. It will not be an easy task to rewrite, nay, restore history. But know this, I will do everything in my power to bring the truth to the fore. And just Humphrey showing up, like, chilling out with gentle dead men in the background. Oh, excuse me? Are we not forgetting someone here? And by someone, I mean me! Mr. Gilgamesh? Is everything okay? If you're quite done playing cloak and dagger, I require Sorin's presence for a matter of far greater importance. Aye, the time of our too long delayed confrontation is nigh. Mr. Gilgamesh, is this really the right time? If you really want, I don't mind fighting you again, but... Why the long face, friend? Ah, but mayhap this will have you singing a happier tune. He stole the treaty blade. Could it be? The treaty blade! And a true one at that! None other, and I have not the slightest intention of parting with it, save to the one who would defeat me in single combat. Ah, but I misspeak. It will not be single combat this time. Is that my cue, old friend? That's a voice I don't recognize. This is a familiar feeling. If I'm not mistaken, that's a... primal. Fall be merciful! What is that abomination? Some new breed of void scent? Abomination? I'll thank you to address my companion with courtesy, girl. Ah, but 'twas the most curious thing. There I was, hauling a crate full of crystals for Hildy's mother, and thinking how much better things would be if my dear friend Enkidu were here. Then came a flash from the heavens, and the next thing I knew, there she was! Yeah, that's primal. By the gods, it makes perfect sense! Doubtless the crystals heard Greg's heartfelt plea, summoning him forth his friend. Nay, no mere friend, but rather the primal Enkidu! And the world has now completely and utterly ceased to be bound by the laws of logic. Sorin, you may have bested me in the past, but facing the two of us together will not prove so easy a task. And yet, I trust you will not shirk from the challenge. I, Enkidu, and I shall await you at Amdapor Keep. That makes much more sense how he can fly with the real Enkidu. 'Tis a ways from here, but what better venue for our climactic confrontation? If you would claim the treaty blade, then claim it from me as a warrior. To the skies, Enkidu! To the skies! Just little issue, Mr. Gilgamesh. I'm not... 2 against 1? That's not very gentleman of you, Greg. Come, Sorin, to Amdapor! I'm a scholar, not a warrior. This is a grave development indeed. To think that one man could summon a primal on his own. I must send word to the Scions at once. Ma'am. The Scions are kind of here. Oh, but of course, I had near forgotten we had the Warrior of Light in our very midst. Please, Sorin, you are our only hope to slay the primal and reclaim the blade. It's the zombies. Look at the Inspector go! I'm right behind you, Inspector. Mrs. Mandeville, is everything okay? All's well that ends well, eh, Sorin? Hildy's undead acquaintances were kind enough to make an appearance at my request. Who'd have thought zombies could be such gentlemen? I reckon it must be my son's good influence. I'm sure, ma'am. Mr. Mandeville? Ho ho ho! I knew that if anything could bring Hildy back from the undead, it would be my dear wife's hand-mixed holy water. That's the world-class culinarian I married. Mr. Humphrey? Gentlemen of light! God, they are every bit as radiant as I pegged them to be. One day I'll be a hero myself. Just you watch. Ellie, forgive me. I'm sorry for deceiving you, Sorin. For what it's worth, it wasn't personal. After 400 years, this might very well spell the end for the Arbiters of Truth. Whether or not to replace the Fallen is a decision for my superiors to make. In either event, I have decided to renounce my position. I thought they were white lies, but I have seen firsthand the suffering they can cause. How are you holding up, Mr. Bela'diah? And with that, my work here is done. You are by far the least incompetent associate I encountered in my travels. For preserving some shred of my sanity. You have my thanks. That said, my time in this land was not a total loss. My experience here has taught me an important lesson. That this world and the fools who populate it rarely, if ever, abide by the principles of logic. This should serve me well in my future cases. And most importantly of all, I leave here with a vow that has given my life new meaning. But this is no time for sentiment. Of course. Well, I should be off then, everyone. I guess I'll maybe meet you back here after I've dealt with Mr. Gilgamesh. I believe I want to go to Camp Tranquil. Curious as to why I have so many empty slots in the first tab of my inventory. Also, that was something I want to do. Choco saddlebag. Let's just empty out some of this stuff here. I like keep using my Choco saddlebag as kind of like a glamour setup. Okay, there we go. For all my dyes and armor prisms. Amdabor Keep is that building there, I'm fairly certain. Okay, I said as well this episode I might finish up a bit early, but kind of looks like it won't actually be that early. It might even go a little bit over depending on how long this queue takes. But I'll take that, because I like a nice clean ending. Inspector Hildibrand? Is that you, Sorin? Pray forgive me. I was right on Greg's tail when I encountered a subterranean curiosity that demanded my immediate attention. I will be concluding my investigation forthwith. But in the meantime, might I trouble you to entertain Greg and his primal friend in my stead? Together we will reclaim the treaty blade from that knave, Sorin. Yes, just go on ahead. I'll be along directly. Of course you will, sir. And with that... Trials, battle in the big keep... Oh! Darn! Average item level is only 81. That's a... That's actually an issue. I don't want to have to just do the trial. I want all of Hildibrand. I want to kind of have even called the stream the finale of Hildibrand Adventures. Go to Limsa. We'll talk to Rowena's representative. If I get... What are my lowest level... My lowest item level? So if I get a if I can get a bracelet and a ring... also if this person would load in... There we go. So healer, ironworks gear. So this is high... even the rings only cost 280. Gerald's Masterworks. Can't get anything there. Primal gear all requires other stuff. Right. Maybe if I just go to... What item level is... That stuff is item level... Right, so if I can purchase Battlecraft accessories... Sphinx earrings. These are... Oh, none of these are high enough level for me. Oh! This is a little bit problematic. Resort to the market board. Mithrite necklace offending. Oh, I can buy Heaven's Word tier stuff. Not fending though. It needs to be healing. How much of 40,000? That's a bit pricey. Healing. Also 40,000. Platinum scarf. Also 40,000. It's Emerald Choker? That's item level 90, that'll do. That'll raise me up a wee bit. And rings. 85 ring of healing. 25,000. Agate ring, 10,000. Actually, you know, those are probably 10,000 I can... This was not what I wanted to do. Bracelets. 120. That's expensive. Bracelets are expensive. And I think I suppose I could buy Heaven's Word here, but I think this is my best option. So if I just... There we go! That was a bit pricey. Not what I wanted to spend Sorin's money on, but my average item level is up to 104, so now I should be able to... Yes, I can queue into battle in the big keep now. Right, I am starting to consider maybe I should be doing some, like, off-stream grinding for Sorin, just so he can get decent gear. Do I know if I went through the MSQ, you get gear as well, and I think technically, like, the section of Hildibrand I'm on at the minute is you're not supposed to kind of be doing till like, it was much later in the MSQ it came out, because each act of Hildibrand came out with a different patch for A Realm Reborn. I just like doing it all at once, because it's its own self-contained story. So, average queue is less than 5 minutes. Good old healer queues. In the meantime, I'm not really sure what much else there is I could be doing. But how am I... How many seals? How many seals did I need to get to next rank as a storm? Oh, never mind. Also, that's actually... Summon Eos. Pool party. Oh, I do need to say hello. Nice. My fellow fighters. If Gilgamesh isn't going to fight one-on-one, then neither am I. At long last, we should meet again on the battlefield. I dare say Enkidu shall come to enjoy our tussles as much as I. You, however, might not find this one so enjoyable, unless you enjoy getting pounded senseless. Ha! Oh boy. And now I need to try and remember this battle, because I do not do this one very often. I've got Eos at least, so... First, I guess, Eos, as usual, you go sit in the middle of the arena. I guess maybe hit both with my damage over time, and then focus on... I think it's Enkidu you're supposed to focus on. Yeah, because Enkidu can heal Gilgamesh. Oh, you're on low health, buddy. Have a shield. It's Enkidu I want to be focusing. Also have my Aether Float. Oh, how does this work again? Is this do we want to get far away from each other, or we want to get close to each other? Okay, so we want to get close to each other. You want rid of that debuff. Down to time. Damage over time. And he's turned a bunch of our teammates into chickens. That is always great. Missile? Actually just missiles. Okay. Oh, that hurts, that hurts, that hurts, that hurts. Ooh. Don't mind, that is painful. Oh, and now I'm a chicken. Oh. Well, can I not be a chicken? Get rid of... Oh, what? Ow. I think that was just a one shot. I think I only have 4,000 health. Oh, a lot of people are dying. Which means I should probably... Ooh! Bitter end. Okay. That's it. I am clearly not understanding what I'm supposed to be doing here. Yeah, and no one in chat is talking about mechanics. Oh, but no, that's a problem. I accidentally hit my Windows key. Right. Oh boy. That went abysmally. I think, sir, we just want you to, yeah, manually restart. Okay. I think I understand better the mechanics of Phase 2, Gilgamesh? Hello there. Me? Run away? Huh. I was but seeking out a more suitable spot to celebrate my victory. But enough exposition. Now we fight like men. And ladies who dress like men. For Gilgamesh, it is transmogrifying time. Mr. Gilgamesh? The mightiest warrior ever to grace Eorzea stands before you, by which I mean I, Gilgamesh. Prepare yourself. Yo, I need to summon Eos again. Off you go to the middle. If I remember correctly, second phase Gilgamesh is more about avoiding, like, buried AoEs than worrying about any specific kind of mechanics. Oh. Never mind. Oh, yeah, but that's one bit. Help me, everyone. Can't quite move. Gilgamesh is in the mood for dancing. Is he now? Most impressive. Very well. I too shall fight with all my strength. Someone just whooped the dragon. Oh, fight these things over. Okay, you probably want the barrier. Oh. Weird that the AoE adds. Oh. Okay, inner ones explode and the outer ones explode. And now it's just Gilgamesh. Oh, and I've been fettered again. Sorry everyone. You mind giving a hand? Oh, Gilgamesh is in the mood for dancing. That is our tank friend taking a lot of damage again. Two. Ow, oh, and that was very many AoEs, Whispering Dawn. Okay, so it goes out and then in this time. Oh, me again. Okay. I feel like I'm being bullied here. Enough expository banter. To think that my full complement of arms would avail me not! No more hijinks from Gilgamesh. You have my word. The treaty blade, too. I shall return. Just as soon as I remember where I hid it. Anyway, I yield to your unparalleled puissance. Spare my insignificant life, I beg ye. I had no intention of killing you in the first place, Mr. Gilgamesh. Just want the sword back. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the help. Accommodation. Let's give it to our red mage friend. Red mage is cool. And Kidu! Need. Oh, never mind. Don't get him. No one Kidu for me. Never, never again! This I do solemnly swear! Well, I guess I should report this to the inspector, that we just need to find where... Mr. Gilgamesh buried the sword. Or hid it. Can't be too far away, right? Not! Ha! I lied! Again! Like a rug! Oh, is that... That doesn't come up in chat. Is it not? You can take that fusty old blade for all I care. I thirst for true power, and naught save the strongest of swords will suffice. Warrior of Light, you have proven a worthy opponent, but I warn you, treasure every moment with your weapon. For as sure as day follows night, the hour will come when I claim it as mine own. Till we meet again. Oh yeah, something I remembered I had to do. I have that random marble seed doing. Mr. Hildibrand? What ho, Sorin! Have you seen Greg and his oversized avian companion? Lead me to them at once, and we shall deliver the coup de grace together. I kind of already dealt with them, sir. The battle has already been won? That is triumphant news indeed! Clearly the lessons you have learned from me have not been for naught. And what's this you say? The treaty blade lies hidden somewhere in the nearby wood? Worry not, my ever-loyal associate, for no buried treasure will escape the keen eye of Hildibrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. Now, which way was the forest again? We're in the forest, Mr. Hildibrand. Well, I guess I can leave him to it and take a bit of a break. Oh. Hey, everyone. I wasn't expecting you to come all out this way. Sorin, what news of the Primal and the Treaty Blade? The Primal's been dealt with. The Treaty Blade is... Mr. Hildibrand is searching for it. Remarkable. I knew the Warrior of Light would emerge triumphant. Let us hope that Inspector Hildibrand enjoys similar success in finding the blade. Such design, such craftsmanship! At once bold and powerful, yet sensitive and refined. I believe I found the inspiration for my next masterpiece. Of course they're beautiful. They were once the greatest treasures of Lost Silde. To think that they were locked away in the vaults of those that destroyed our homeland and dragged our ancestors' names through the mud. And just how did you come to know of these long-lost relics? There was an ancient scroll passed down in our family, left to us by our dear grandmother. It spoke of the 4 warriors of light, their 4 relics, and an incantation of untold power. If we could have wielded this magic of legend, Ellie and I might still have had the last laugh. Alas, speaking the words had no effect. Only a warrior of light can wield the power. Or so the legend goes. What I wouldn't have given to see it. The ultimate achievement of the greatest mages this realm has ever known. And just what sort of incantation is this? The ring casts open the doors of justice. The wise man whispers a verdict true. Azema's virtue shines down from the heavens. To complete the incantation, the Warrior of Light would then hold forth the treaty blade and speak, "Blade in hand, I swear unto you." The legends differ as to what happens next, but all speak of a great holy radiance shining down from the heavens. Oh, I guess that's Inspector Hildibrand back. Over here, friends! Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, returns with tidings most triumphant. I guess you found it. Behold, safe in my hands, none other than a treaty blade, and a real one this time, I swear unto you. Yes, yes, just like that, I swear unto you. Then... did that just glow? My word, whatever is this odd tingling sensation? Ridiculous. Hildibrand isn't a warrior of light. He's just some fool who thought he could stop the lesser moon with his own bare hands. It would seem the treaty blade is just as confused as the rest of us. No, the light. Someone stop it! I won't stand to see the legendary power of our forefathers wielded by this muscle-bound buffoon. I think it's a little too late, Miss Sassy. Regardless of what we think, the blade seems to have accepted Mr. Hildibrand as... Skyward Ho! Well, I dare say that proved to be a most useful incantation indeed. And so the light of justice that shone from the treaty blade banished the shadow, returning peace to the land. So the legend ended. I never expected it to be quite literally a beam of light. I suppose it wouldn't have been much use to us after all. Inspector! Oh, Inspector! Wait for me! Balls, Hildy! First you almost died, you perm off his feet, and now you fly off to God's nowhere without even giving her a kiss goodbye! Ho ho ho! It appears that the case of Wanderlust has once again struck Hildibrand, as it has many a Mandeville man before him. Godspeed, my boy. When the day comes that you tire of mystery solving, your dear old man will be here to pass on to you the family art. So in the end, the Sylvan incantation of the legend was wielded not by a warrior of light, but a gentleman of light. Well, the treaty blade is some 6 centuries old after all. Perhaps it's not quite as sharp as it used to be. Is this an all's well that ends well situation? Rocket Hildibrand is launched. Magic that brought peace and happiness to the people of Bela'diah. It was every bit as beautiful as I imagined. To think I would see it with my own eyes. It's nothing short of a dream come true. He bumbles and stumbles through yet another case, and still he manages to make a girl's dream come true. A gentleman to the end. Bloody bastard. Is he gonna be alright? What's this? A glint in the far corner of my eye. A curious scent wafting in on the winds from our far-flung land. Do I smell a case? Worry not for me, my friends, for wherever the wronged want for succour, I, Hildibrand, shall be there, till we meet again. And there we have it. The finale of Hildibrand Adventures. Hildibrand will return. Unfortunately. Oh. Hey, it's the goblin. Uh, There's a dead goblin. Oh, no, he's alive. I'll be there for you. Get a little wind-up gentleman. We'll give a minion a guide. And we can summon our Inspector Hildibrand. What's that? What do we get there? And we get our very own gentleman's outfit. But yep, that is the finale of Hildibrand Adventures, and that actually timed really well. I mean, I'm 6 minutes over, but that's only just a little bit over time, which is I'll take that. That works for me. So yeah, I want to say tomorrow's stream on Thursday. I finished DDLC, so tomorrow's stream I will be going on to a little game called Celeste, which has been on my radar for a while. It has actually been. It's one of the many free games I got through like Epic Game Stores. Like, they are free games. They're that little promotion that they do. And so I thought, you know, it's about time I actually played it, because I've been trying to avoid my own little personal inspector. I've been trying to avoid any spoilers about it and avoiding watching other people play it. So I think it's about time I played it myself, and I think it's one of maybe like little shorter ones. I don't actually know how true that is, but I guess I'll find out. So it's going to be taking over DDLC on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I will be back with Sorin on Friday, and that will be starting into the first patch quests, which is, I believe, A Realm Awoken. And yeah, then we'll just be carrying on through. I do plan to. I think I'm going to do a little bit more of the main story quests, like maybe the first couple of sets of patch quests, and then do the Crystal Tower raids. Because they're important to the plot, and you do have to do them before you can start Shadowbringers, I believe. Also, for Sorin, don't know if it's 100% confirmed yet, but do have a little something different planned for next Wednesday's stream with Sorin's Journey. Be something a little different, and hopefully it'll all work out. But until then... Oh. Well, if there's anything you are anything you're interested in seeing me play, Catherine, like, feel free to, like, leave recommendations for anything, because I'm happy to try out other things. Otherwise, I'm just kind of going through my library and kind of going, what else here can I play that I'm interested in? I just don't want to do Final Fantasy all week, every week, because I feel I'll maybe burn myself out on it if I'm just doing the one game over and over and over again. But if there is anything do you think kind of would, you know, it'd be interesting to see me play or suffer through, then feel free to leave recommendations. But otherwise, thanks for tuning in and watching, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next stream. Until then, again, just hope you enjoyed, and